Are you planning to travel to Europe in 2025?
If yes, you may have to get ETIAS travel authorization. ETIAS stands for European Travel Information and Authorization System. In this video I cover all you need to know about ETIAS and some pitfalls to avoid. ETIAS will affect 1.4 billion people from over 60 visa-exempt countries, wishing to enter 30 European countries as tourists.
ETIAS' goal is to prevent criminals getting into Europe, as well as track people who overstays there. The system affects travelers from the following countries.
Among them are the US, Japan and South Korea. As you know, if you were from any of these countries, all you had to do was to show up at the border and that's it. But now you have to go through prior registration with ETIAS. The ETIAS affects travelers to the following EU countries. There is an exception to the ETIAS rule, and that is if you have a family member who is a citizen of a country subject to ETIAS. In that case, you may be exempt from travel registration. ETIAS will be implemented sometime in the first half of 2025. There will be a transitional period of 6 months. During that time, you can still show up at the border and gain entry even without ETIAS registration. ETIAS travel registration is valid for 3 years, unless your passport expires before then. As usual, you will still be subject to limits applicable to short-term stays in the EU. Mainly, you can stay for a maximum of 90 days during a 180-day window.
The next question is how to register for ETIAS. Tourists can register either through official ETIAS website or a dedicated app. For now, both the app and the ETIAS website are not ready for the registration. Please take caution and use only official sources. There could be third-party websites that will let you register for ETIAS, but they could be either scams or overpriced service providers, so always use official websites or app.
When registering, you will need an unexpired passport. Here's an information you will need to provide. Personal information like your name, date of birth, nationality, travel document details, some questions about your education and current occupation, your intended travel and stay in any of the countries, and details about any criminal convictions. After that, you will need to pay a fee of €7, which is roughly $7.
ETIAS is promising to process all the applications within minutes, but there could be cases when there could be delays, like several days or maybe 14 days, but in extreme cases it could be 30 days. And most often it could be due to things like criminal past history. You may be called for interview or asked to provide additional documentation. So it's always best to apply it way before, especially if you know that there could be problems in your case. If approved, you should get an email from ETIAS with travel authorization. But if not approved, you will get an email explaining the reason for the refusal, and in some cases you will have the right to appeal.
The ETIAS authorities say that airlines will be required to ask you for your ETIAS authorization before boarding. Without travel authorization, you won't be able to board your flight, bus or ship. Also, having ETIAS authorization does not mean automatic entry. You will still have to talk to border guards and pass border control checks.
So, with that aside, what are the most important things to keep in mind with ETIAS? Well, the UK, as you may know, recently implemented a similar system called Electronic Travel Authorization, or ETA. ETA became effective in UK about a month ago on January 8. And now, when you travel to UK, you will have to register as well beforehand, and it will cost you £10 or about $13.
With the UK, you must have this ETA travel authorization even if you're not planning to go out of the airport. In other words, if you're flying from New York to Amsterdam and happen to pass through Heathrow Airport, you must have travel authorization from the UK authorities. It's not clear, but European travel authorization will likely come along with similar requirements.
On top of it, the UK travel authorization requires people to upload their passport pictures as well as take and upload selfie of themselves. At this time, the European authorities don't ask for that type of information for ETIAS, luckily. And here's the biggest snag that travelers to Europe will face, similar as what they faced with UK. And that is, if you have any criminal history in the past, you may be denied entry completely to Europe. The ETIAS will have a questionnaire where they will be asking questions about your past criminal history. So if there's anything that you will indicate as yes, you have criminal history, you'll have to provide details, and in some cases you may get denied.
According to the UK guidelines, people get denied entry if convicted of a crime in the UK or overseas with a sentence of at least 12 months. Also, if convicted of a criminal offense and less than 12 months has passed since then, you will be denied too. It seems that parking offenses, speeding tickets don't get you in trouble, but if you were convicted of DUI or reckless driving that caused injury and resulted in jail time, your application won't get approved. ETIAS will likely follow something similar.
Travelers reported that they get denied the UK entry with their criminal history. And the only remaining option for them was to go to the UK embassy and apply for a tourist visa there. There was no right to appeal. Luckily, with ETIAS, there is a right to appeal in some cases. It's not clear if criminal history will allow you to appeal. So there we go, the ETIAS system will be effective sometimes in this year, and I hope this video was helpful. If you still have any questions, comment below and I will do my best to answer the questions that you have. Also, I included links to the ETIAS official resources in the description. Like and subscribe to our channel for more content on travel in the future. And I will see you next time. All the best!